Are you ready for All Access Sports Medicine, the team that treats at the highest level with cutting-edge medical care?
Welcome to All Access Sports Medicine. This is Adam. Smiling to my left eye, I have Dr. Jeff Pierce. Smiling to my right eye, Dr. It's honestly, it has nothing to do with the topic, which is yoga. Which I don't
Smiling has nothing to do with yoga?
I don't do very much yoga.
All that beautiful flexibility you show you have?
Hold on a second. We'll have to say that again. I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little closer to you.
This thing's so up and personal. You know, Mac's been all over this thing.
Just make it out with it.
Yeah, I don't know. You know,
So
we're the second team.
we are, we're not the B squad.
We're the A. We're the
A minus?
second A team.
After the slot. But
Why are you so smiley?
Why am I so smiley today?
Yeah, why? You said you were
I'm
so
excited
because of
about it.
yoga or not because of yoga?
Well, I like yoga. I do.
You're not confident enough to do yoga.
Correct.
After today, he will be.
Okay.
After today, yes,
We will
correct.
build your confidence to get into one of those outfits for.
Okay.
You just have to wear Lululemon
See,
and you
that
can
is-
do yoga.
I think that's what it is. And
Like
you
I'm
know
doing.
what? Exactly. It's a stigma. We'll touch on that. But we do have our thought leader of the week, which is Alex Idziak, owner of Aligned Athletes Yoga. We'll be talking with her on her experiences with professional athletes in yoga and how she is building them up. She's provided injury protection for them, and then also probably some balance.
You know, not to pick on her, but I think I introduced yoga to a football team before she was even around.
See,
Well, then you're not picking on her because she wasn't around. So
Okay.
you're okay.
All right, well, okay, I'll tell that story.
Yeah, she can't be offended by that because she wasn't here.
Okay.
But
No, it's a good story.
well, you say it.
All right,
Maybe
say
do
it.
hold it in front
What's
of
our
you.
lead-ins? What are you teasing us with today?
So we also have, I have a list of 10 players that are on the yoga train in the professional world.
Mhm.
So I'm going to ask you some questions about who you think might be in the field of yoga within professional athletes. So it is across
Like a
the-
broad?
across the
That's not
entire
fair.
board.
That's just not fair.
Well, this is what we're
10
gonna do.
people I need to pick out of the sky.
Well, remember, you can pick them out. You ask questions and you kind of.
This is like Find Waldo?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I like that. What do you think about that?
I love when you put him on the spot.
I know. You
It's-
guys are all
it's
research. You
IQ
got all
test
your
for the
papers in front of you. And then,
Right.
sportsman
Well, you have a
position.
paper in front of you.
yeah, I have the stuff that you left off and just gave me the highlights.
Well, we will also be closing the show and the month with the hero of the month, the Living and Learning Enrichment Center. We actually had the executive director and founder, Rochelle. Is it Bar? I can't. I have a hard time pronouncing
I call her Rochelle.
Rochelle.
Yes.
When Rochelle gets in, we will definitely get her to pronunciate the last name. 'Cause I don't want to butcher it, and that's just not my thing. So, before we get into the injury report and we get into the great way of me just peppering you with things saying, hey, who do you think is doing yoga in the professional world and having kind of fester up?
When are we going to talk about Tiger?
So that's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
Maybe he does yoga.
Well,
that was
that's
his
what
first
I was
guess right
gonna
there.
pick.
There you go.
Might be Johnson. I don't know. But I think that we were able to talk about the PGA Championship.
Mm-hmm.
We were going down the road with the different players of the PGA Championship, and what came up in the conversation was, is Tiger Woods going to finish it? Because
Well, can we should be able to pull up my comment. I mean,
we don't have the bit ready to be pulled up.
All
But
right.
why don't you tell us what you said? Why don't you give us a little insight of what your premonition was for Tiger Woods for the PGA Championship?
right now, are we saving this?
No, go ahead.
Okay. So I'm pro Tiger. I know you're not.
I am not.
Okay.
Okay.
So
I am not pro Tiger.
So what happened is that we filmed on Thursday, and he did not look good coming off of 16. He tweaked it. And then he went out, and I think what I said is that it may be better for him to protect himself for the future and not competitively go through. He ended up, what was he, one over on Friday, put everything he had into it, and came out Saturday and didn't do well. And they said because of the weather was terrible and everything else. And we can talk about every person that's listening who has an injury that says weather doesn't affect an injury, and we say from a science standpoint it's not true. But I guarantee you I can get 10 patients right now to tell me on a cold day my bones ache a lot more.
I think cold day could be one, soggy ground could be the other. The gentleman almost lost his leg. Saturday night stability might not be why he's falling, why he's not staying in the championship. But
So
Dana, you had a comment.
I want to bring out a little bit of something because you guys seem to be in opposition about Tiger. So this was in the media today. Woods is not competitive yet and is not going to be competitive in 2 months at the British Open nor at the course at St. Andrews. Woods clearly needs time, a lot of it, and I'm really not interested in watching Tiger Woods rehab at a major championship and take spots from more deserving players. Now, I did not say that.
What website?
I just Googled how's Tiger doing. You know,
you gotta give it a little bit of
so
credit.
it's not me.
Right,
That's all I'm saying. It's not me. I'm not sure the copyright.
It's some hater. He's probably related to Adam.
So what do you guys think about that, though? I mean, he made the cut, right? So he belongs there. He belongs in the second 2 days.
I think
he earned his way on to play. For that individual hater of Tiger Woods to say that, I mean, I'm more worried about his play, his longevity. These guys are so competitive, they sometimes forget the long-term game, right? Short-term, it's just like right now. I mean, you deal with the athletes. I mean, let's just bring it down to reality of what we have for our listeners.
Sure.
We're talking about players that are in what sports are in? Baseball right now, lacrosse, of course, they're in playoffs. My attitude of treating these people, or my little gymnastic girl, I want to announce my little 12-year-old gymnastic girl that I talked about earlier, that we stood her down so she could be ready for state.
Yes, you talked about that a couple weeks ago.
State championship.
Wow.
There
for
it is.
Congratulations to
Success
her.
stories.
That's awesome.
Right there.
But that's the whole thing. What did I tell her yesterday when she came in the office? We're shutting you down for 4 weeks. We need to rest your body to be better. You're 12 years old. Okay? Tiger's 47 years old. You got to rest. You got to be ready. You were mentally ready. You were physically ready. He tweaked something. Like I said last time, he was physically fit to play.
But also talk about the story about him on the 16th hole, limping, noticeably hurting, and talking about tweaking something. Is that what you're saying?
Well, that's the thing. Once you have an injury like that, you come back. I mean, we live in balancing injuries, right? We're at a level. Here's a major competition, right? We got to get you ready. That's why he didn't play the weeks before between the Masters. He wants to play the majors. Okay, so he's getting ready and ready and ready. That's what we do. We prepare. And then your risk of injury, your number one risk factor, and everybody can hear it from me multiple times, your number one risk factor is a previous injury. He's got an injury. He's got insignificant in his left leg, right?
Yes.
It's not coming back. He's got back injuries. The guy is beat up.
He has a spinal infusion.
He's a warrior.
Come on.
But he's changed his swing to adjust to that. That's what we do. I mean, it's just like my lacrosse player for Cranbrook yesterday. He got to play. We're in playoffs right now. He played a significant amount until the game was in hand. Then he was taken out because he's got to be ready for the next game.
But that is what I'm saying is a problem. It's not the fact that can't play. Of course he can go out there and play. He's Tiger Woods.
Well, that's
but
his
he's
team.
completely taking all of the, all the media, everyone's going after him, and then he's going to, I'm not going to finish this tournament. So
more people know right now that Tiger Woods stepped out of the tournament than who won the tournament.
That's a problem in the PGA.
No.
I feel that's a problem in the PGA.
No, you're a hater. Are you not old enough?
I am old. I am old enough.
Tiger Woods made the sport to a whole nother level.
But you have, okay, for instance.
There are people around the world because Tiger play are watching.
I understand that, and
Who's he taking it from? Number 82?
I just
Who is number 82?
I don't know the actual progression of PGA players.
I don't know how many players
and
play,
the top 10. But what I am saying is, if he is not in the peak form of playing Tiger now, not previous Tiger, but now Tiger, that's one big thing I'd like to say.
I truly believe if we had our little microphone in that locker room when he's making a decision, Tiger fell 100% to play. He tweaked himself, an unexpected injury, unexpected stuff. And he's, look at what's his face. Didn't even make the cut. Number
Your
one
boy,
guy.
DeChambeau.
No. DeChambeau didn't even show up. But what's his name?
Scheffler. Like Scotty didn't play.
He didn't even make the cut.
Okay. Well, he was on a run. He was on a tear, and you know what? You fall back, but that's fine.
Tiger made the cut. He had a competitive mindset and put what his current Tiger Woods is into the ability to play.
I'm going to put this one to rest because we're getting
I want him
past
to
the
start
time.
doing yoga so he's physically fit. I want Tiger to start
he
doing
might be in
yoga.
that
We
list.
have Alex.
I
Alex
honestly
in
feel-
studio. She can say, you know what, Tiger? Give me a call. I'll fix you up. I'll fix
I'm
you up
telling
right
you.
here.
Just like DeChambeau,
saying
we're
no.
here to help.
No, don't do that
We're
to
here
me.
to help Tiger Woods get to the next level. And to be honest, I could pick on him that he built up so much muscle,
You've
muscle
said
mass, and if he was doing yoga with that buildup of muscle mass, he might have had that flexibility to not tweak that leg. So yoga is the answer. Just like on my
setting it up
team,
here.
I picked yoga. All right, you want to go to the break?
I do, but I want to put one more point in this.
Oh, jeez.
I will be not a skeptic of Tiger if he next major he plays, if he's saying he's 100%, he goes and plays and he sticks it out.
You're being a hater.
No, but if you can't do it on a regular basis, you need to shut it down. Like you're telling your gymnast, shut it down, get right, and come back the proper way.
He just pointed the finger at you
I'm
right
just
back.
saying,
I know,
you
but
just said it. What's the difference? Why is the gymnast different than the thing? And now I'm getting.
No.
Now I'm getting
We better go to break now, man.
we are gonna go to break. When we come back, we have the OMPT specialist injury report. I am going to actually see if Doc has paid attention within the last couple of weeks on what we're going to be talking about today. So that's what I'm excited about. So when we do come back, we'll do the injury report sponsored by OMPT specialist, and of course in studio we have Alex Idziak, a certified yoga teacher. When we come back.
Welcome to Michigan Sports and Spine Center, Michigan's top physical medicine, rehabilitation, and regenerative medicine specialists. We are a team dedicated to providing you with the very best in patient-centered care, including personalized, cutting-edge treatments for all musculoskeletal injuries. Visit one of our convenient Metro Detroit locations to get started with a comprehensive exam, pain management, biologics treatments, EMG testing, and more.
Let's take you backstage with our thought leaders of today on All Access Sports Medicine. Thank you to our friends at Michigan Sports and Spine.
Welcome back to All Access Sports Medicine. We do have Alex Idziak in studio, which is our thought leader. Let's kind of bring you in. Let's give us a little context of one, who you are, the program that you have. We will talk about the injuries and the updates for the professional players, but I just want to introduce you so when you do kind of infuse yourself into the conversation, remember, we're picking on this man today.
Right,
It's us three against this one.
He's afraid
my
to speak.
yogis are coming out to support me. Come on.
So yes, welcome to the show. We
Thank
truly
you.
appreciate the time. The topic today is yoga, and you are a certified yoga teacher. Give us a little insight where that's coming
I'm
from.
also a super yoga person that the doc has introduced me as before. I forgot my cape, so sorry
Come
about
on.
that.
For the listeners and followers,
If you can
out,
help Adam, you have done. You can help 99% of the people out there.
for
Then
the
I'm
listeners
definitely
and
super.
followers out there, Doc decided to do I think an Instagram post and called Alex the super yoga person. So that is why we're picking on him even better. So I'm like,
It was funny. It was cute. Yeah. I have been teaching for 3 years now. I started off with professional athletes and have now went into college and high school athletic programs as well. So I've personally been practicing yoga for 16 years. But yeah, I really believe in yoga as a practice for injury prevention, for mindfulness, for that elite athlete looking to have an edge in their sport.
I'm sorry, I was doing hand gestures.
Yeah.
I was doing hand gestures to Spencer.
Was that your yoga move?
No, that
Break
was
to the
that
yoga?
was. Hey, I've got some sound going on. Help me out, my man.
He's already practicing.
Come on.
He's doing the finger yoga.
He's trying to impress you.
No, all right. So
My God.
I'll help you. I'll help
my
you.
wand here for Hogwarts. Jeez. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So as far as yoga, if people know or listen from Michigan Sports and Spine or All Access, I'm a big promoter of yoga, Pilates, Tai Chi, things that people can relate to. By you saying you're with professional athletes, there's a handful that have open-mindedness to it. Back when, so should I tell my story now?
Yes.
So back in the early 2000s, when yoga was more of a, not so much a manly thing to do, I introduced it to the arena football team that I was the head doctor for.
Really?
I then got lifted and thrown into a wall by one of the linemen saying, "You don't think I'm tough enough to do yoga?" And he literally takes me, and I'm like, I'm not light. Takes me, puts me up against the wall, and goes, "You think I can handle now?" And it was like, yeah. And because I took that hit, they were willing to do yoga. We had a yoga instructor for arena football in 2000.
Did you see any benefits from it? What was the outcome of it?
To be honest, there's people like people that are.
Are you gonna call me a skeptic on
I
yoga
was gonna
now
say
too?
hater-
Everything,
hater of
hater,
yoga.
skeptic, whatever.
People like you.
Yeah.
Cautious. No, like you probably come across it less now. That's why I was saying before we were on the air that there are people that are more open-minded now.
Yeah.
You can walk into, like, people know about it. It's not just someone burning incense and crazy poses and stuff like that. There's so many different divisions of yoga, and we push it all the way from chair yoga, because when I treat people, I treat them at the highest level and the lowest level. So we bring out all that. But overall, to answer your question, who took to it, certain players did take to it that bought in, right? The bigger guys tend to not. The guy who put me up in the wall,
Yes.
He did it once.
One time.
But they found more flexibility. I think we encouraged more of the stretching into the world of yoga, and they were able to interpret it. Now,
And this was through a recovery rehabilitation program?
No,
or just
this
prevention?
is preseason prevention.
Okay.
I mean, these guys come in, hurt, not flexible.
Yeah.
They work out. It's just like I mentioned with Tiger Woods. If you continue to lift weights and try to power lift and build up your muscles, a lot of times, like what we call the beauty muscles, right? The guys that walk around like this, they don't have full extension. The biggest thing with yoga is it will push you through full extension of your body's muscle, your normal anatomy, right? You're doing full body lengthening.
If he's going off step, just put him in
if I'm
place.
No,
wrong.
I want to hear what
All right.
She'll
y'all
correct
think
me
it
at the
is.
end.
And,
Yeah.
and
The correction's
I can fill in
on.
the gaps.
You're picking on me too?
No, I'm waiting for you to finish.
I'm done.
You didn't even start.
Wow. Well,
No. So basically, I am pro yoga for the right reasons, okay? You mentioned what I love, and I don't know if you took it from some of the stuff I've said, is that it's a mental thing. It's body, mind, and everything. You can incorporate it. I usually be the sarcastic tone to patients. You can learn how to relax your little toe. People don't even know how to breathe. Mm-hmm. Yoga breathing is a benefit to 99% of the people out there. Like all of us, we should just take a deep breath and prove that we don't know how to do it.
you're hitting all my topics.
I know.
I feel like you're like
No,
in
you
my
don't
head
share
right
anything
now.
with
You're like
me.
in my head right now.
You don't share
it's
anything with
awesome.
me.
It is awesome. Well, I do have a list of 10 professionals. So I want Doc right now to think of a professional athlete in the world right now that might be doing yoga. Alex, go ahead on your point.
I just wanted to kind of elaborate with what he was saying.
Emphasize.
Is because I agree with you, and we kind of talked about the stigmas behind yoga. I think when most people think of yoga, especially those that haven't practiced it or aren't doing it, they think of it, oh, it's just a good stretch. It's like, it's good for your body. I'm going to be more flexible. And I appreciate that because that's what gets them through the door of yoga. Not just my door, because I want everybody to do it and I can't take on everybody. But that's what gets them through the door, and I think they stay because of the mental aspects of it, of what they gain mentally, emotionally, the breathing behind it. I have many clients that have said, you know, when I'm on the ice, like I can tap into my breath.
Can
even
I make
better
fun of
now.
her for 1 second? Her voice is just like a yoga, like it's soothing.
She's a yoga teacher.
I'm feeling very soothing right now.
You're getting into the good.
You're riling me up, and now she's.
I'm glad because you
Calming
were
it
just
down.
calling me a skeptic every second.
Hater.
But we.
I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, I
but
you're
appreciate
on a
it.
roll.
That's a
I think
compliment.
that it truly is something that it brings that body and mind into alignment, which I am a pro yoga person on that side of it. The clarity of the body and the mind, right? Stretching to me is you can stretch anywhere.
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
You can do other things, but if I am doing if I'm going to do yoga myself personally, it is for the clarity of the mind and the body.
Aren't you doing
So-
yoga on the show today?
No, you see
He
this?
was earlier.
I thought that was the whole thing.
No, not today.
That's what I called out last week.
Well, I'm sorry. I
So-
didn't prepare myself for a yoga pose.
I'm going to stick in here and let's bring this all in a circle, okay? Let's bring it all together.
yoga circle.
So you brought an article up about 10 professional athletes who are
Correct.
doing yoga, and then I read the article, and then I kind of like went through with a fine-tooth comb, and I wanted to reiterate exactly what you just said because these are what the professional athletes with. Now
Correct.
Dr. Pierce
There
is
you
going to
go.
guess one.
Yeah, guess one.
So just take a guess on one.
What sport? Give me
Basketball.
Any sport. Basketball.
Just think of who spends a lot of money on their body.
Yeah, basketball.
my main man, LeBron.
There you go.
Perfect. Perfect.
We actually had the conversation in New Orleans in 2007.
You and him talked about yoga.
Yes.
Shut up.
Okay, maybe not.
Thank you. Thank you.
So
no,
he was
honestly,
on
we
the
did
list.
talk about his fitness program
Okay, all right.
in New Orleans at the casino.
So now I dissected what these 10 professionals said, okay?
I'm 1 for 1,
So
just for the record.
1 for 1.
basically, this article was a testimonial and information about how they incorporate yoga in organizations, whether it's basketball, football, or whatever they are, how
Correct.
they've continued to do it personally through their lifetime. They have people who are very young and present athletes, and they have people who are older, actually, who are continually to do it. One of our own Lions, the wide receiver.
Calvin Johnson.
Yep, Calvin Johnson continues
You
to
can't-
do
you
it.
I was
say
with
him.
Calvin on
Now
Friday.
to
You can't
touch
say
on
him.
what? I can't. Okay, what? I didn't say anything.
But it's okay.
Okay.
You can't. Now he has 8.
One of our-
Now
okay.
he has 8.
So it's exactly what she said, is that what these professional athletes, so what was touched on is they were saying personal testimonies, it restores balance and flexibility, provides core stability. Now these were the physical elements they were talking about, but much more what they focused on was what you just said, which is amazing, and obviously it's true.
Right.
And it was improved mindset. These were the terms they used. Improved my discipline, spiritual healing, peace of mind, clearness of thought, relaxing. So there is a lot more terminology in the realm that you were talking, the spiritual,
Right.
the meditation
That's right.
type.
Yeah.
So what this tells me as a professional is these guys are probably highly stimulated in every point of their life. Like physically, you got to push harder, you got to be faster, you got to lift harder, you got to remember that play, you got to hit fast, you got to hit first, that kind of stuff. Practice that free throw 10,000 times. So maybe they go to yoga for balance of mind and spirit too, and that's the one downtime if you just kind of look at what they say in these testimonials. So
Yes. And what I do, what I teach, which is different than if you just go to any normal yoga studio, is I make it position specific, sport specific. So I'll study film, I'll watch them train, I'll watch PT videos or ask them what they're doing with their PT and incorporate it so that they are stimulated in like, this translates to the field, court, ice, whatever it may be.
that's so smart. That's
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah,
and
absolutely.
then it just helps them with their position, right?
Absolutely,
So
yes.
that's just kind of my specialty and why it's more athlete-based yoga versus just yoga. But sorry.
No, go ahead. I was going to cut you off again, but I'm not.
Jeez, oh my goodness.
Yes,
I
the
thought-
mental aspect of it is huge, and that's what I see the most benefit, even with my high school team, that these are 15 to 17-year-olds, and now they are locked in. Now that we've been doing it for almost a year, they're locked in on the field, they pay attention, they are more disciplined in the weight room, and when they're in my class, it's just they know exactly where to be, and they're prepared and ready to listen.
What's an ideal time frame for like a yoga class or for these athletes? Like how long are they doing it, like a dosage?
How often?
Yeah, in how long?
I do, so my one-on-one like pro guys, it's usually an hour and a half session, give or take, because I do breath work, I do meditation, and then we do movement, specific to what they are working on. But most of the time it's about an hour, and I really just one time a week you're going to find benefits.
But they have a follow-up program to it. They have follow-up without you.
Well, within their team, I would assume.
No, on their own.
Well, I see them once a week, and that's when we do it.
But are they doing it on their own to follow up? They have like a home yoga program?
No.
No? Well, we need to incorporate that.
I don't think they would do it, to be honest.
They need your
that right there.
She is the motivation.
Yes.
See, what did I call her? Super yoga?
Super yoga person. But I think the other aspect that I was noticing in the article from sportsnaut.com, I will get onto that when we get back from the break. Doc, I want you to think of another player or a team that might incorporate yoga into their professional experiences. Okay.
Do I get a category?
We'll go football this time. Go football this time. So when we come back from All Access Sports Medicine,
it's not the
we
Lions.
are going to keep the conversation
but
live.
If you're listening.
We're going to keep the conversation live with Alex, and we are going to try and stump the doc with choosing which players or teams are you incorporating yoga into their
Let's do that
everyday.
every
You're
week.
going to have to go
Stump
that
the
broad.
So that was the injury report. No, that was actually the thought leadership brought to you by Michigan Sports and Spine Center. For over 25 years, Michigan Sports and Spine Centers have been providing complete care in the world of sports medicine, rehabilitation, and regenerative medicine. Using cutting-edge treatments and dedicating themselves to overall health improvement, their patients recover at rates well above the national average. To schedule an evaluation or find out more about their services, call them at 248-426-9944 or visit them online at Michigan Sports and Spine. MichiganSportsandSpine.com. Ooh, that was what?
When you need an MRI exam, come to the facility that makes your comfort and exam quality top priority. MRI of Southfield provides Metro Detroit's most advanced imaging while maximizing patient comfort. Our truly open Hitachi Oasis system features an unobstructed viewing angle and the most accommodating patient table that no other MRI system allows. Patients and their doctors enjoy fast results without compromising safety, performance, or efficiency. Contact MRI of Southfield today to schedule an appointment or to find out more about insurance and pricing.
It is time for the Injury Report, brought to you by OMPT Specialists.
Yes. We did the injury report previously. We gave Michigan Sports and Spine Center their due diligence on the other end, but we are back with All Access Sports Medicine. We have a full studio, full house today. Everyone's flying around the words of skepticism and
I think it's
haters, but no, we're trying to become more aligned with ourselves, Doc. We're trying to incorporate yoga into our everyday life and how it's going to clear our mind. So while you cleared your mind on that break, can you give us maybe a football player or a football team that is incorporating yoga into their everyday rehabilitation / prevention?
Well, are they the Super Bowl champs by?
No.
Were they in the playoffs last year?
Yes. Yeah. One of the players was.
Phoenix? The Cardinals?
The No. Cardinals are not. Cardinals not. Well, that's a boo 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 boo. Whatever the sound we got there. But so ponder on that. But one of the actual teams is the Seattle Seahawks. So the Seattle Seahawks.
So Russell.
Well, Russell now is actually with the Denver Broncos.
Russell does it with his wife.
Well, Okay, then.
I mean,
yes. Let's keep moving. So, yes, Russell Wilson.
Yoga.
Russell Wilson has
they are
taken.
a very fit couple.
He has taken the incorporation of yoga into his everyday rehabilitation from mandatory fitness from the Seattle Seahawks, and now he is incorporating it into his everyday life in his professional world with the Denver Broncos. Not on the
What a pathway.
I think the other topic that I wanted to talk about that was a part of this article from Sportsnaut is age. A lot of these players are either retired or they're in the later stages of their career. Doc, I'm giving you hints, hint, hint, wink, wink. Later stages of their career, and they're showing themselves playing longer and for extended periods of time. I'm saying, are you working with, I would say, older players, or I guess maybe even older clients? And I know we talk about over the edge is 50.
No. Well, first of all, what are you talking about? Guys who are currently playing that did play?
I'm saying.
I mean, you're talking about football. I mean, guys that are 28 are considered on the back nine of their career.
Well, we're talking about even older than that.
So the alumni guys.
On the back nine per se within their career, and.
Well, you never know when that's going to be. Professional sports.
Correct. And I think that that's another.
I mean, you're picking on Tom
feel-
Brady. I mean, where are we
think
going here?
that there's a category of rookie or like first contract early in your career and then after.
Mm-hmm.
Once you've made it past like the 4-year mark of what, and we're talking NFL here, of what normal or what the average
lifespan
lifespan of an athlete is, then they start caring more about what's going on in their body. They've been knocked around a lot.
Okay, so you're saying a lot of the times maybe the story that we were reading and the older players are really just more educated, and they're saying, I understand that my body is my I would say temple, but it is what's making making the bread, and I think that's a big factor.
Well, like, fortunately, I've been around a lot of the players at their career, and I'm on the elder side, so a lot of my contemporaries of that time start looking at different things they do in their off season. Is yoga one of them? For a handful of them, yeah. I mean, that's what you have to look at. And when I said, like, our young Lions player who's injured, they take a different look. When you have an injury, when you do things like that, they
Jamison Williams.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when Williams is hurt, I said he's going to come back even stronger, that we don't need to worry about him. It's the same thing also when guys have small injuries throughout. They're looking for that edge. Like you mentioned, they want the edge. The edge is whatever else. You can't live on your Superman youth anymore. It takes a couple years into the season to realize that. And you start doing different things. Mm-hmm. Like the pitcher for the Cubs, I can't remember his name. He does an amazing Pilates where there was a whole ESPN special on him.
Okay.
What's he's dark hair? He got traded.
Okay.
No, but he got traded because he went for a bigger contract. God,
He's stumping himself. You don't have to stump him, Adam.
It starts with an A. Big pitcher for the Cubs when they won the World Series.
Anybody? Bueller, Spencer.
All right, we'll look
Spencer's
we'll
on.
look
Spencer behind the glasses got it.
Arrieta. It'd be nice to pull up, if you were really good, we could pull up his Pilates thing. But Pilates and yoga, I don't want to mix them together. Mm-mm. But like when I talk about biologics with PRP, stem cell, and stuff like that, there is a higher category where I do feel Pilates, yoga, Tai Chi, all that starts falling in. There's different methods to it. There is a body and mind to all those things. Yoga is just, I think, a little bit more popular. Pilates, I think some of the players can relate to because it is a different type of exercise, but it's mostly focused on flexibility. But we'll stick with yoga right now.
So let me take this to the scientific level.
Bring it.
Okay,
Finally.
how can yoga assist in recovery? My microphone is very excited. I can't. I'm holding it here.
That's Russell
That's kind
Wilson's
of the way the
fitness
show is
program.
going today. All right.
I'm not lying. Today is
Hasn't been like
hilarious.
this
We
before,
need-
man.
we
I don't
need
know
to
if I should put it to
blame
the
it on
side and
Alex.
speak over here. What? But anyways, so how can yoga assist in recovery on a scientific level? And what really help? What does it do? Okay, so you can correct me, but I've just kind of
Yeah,
like
I'd love to hear it.
incorporated in physical therapy things. Slow movements. Experiencing control over their movement. So it's slow instead of fast type stuff. Is that correct? So
Yeah, body awareness.
Yep. So they get a lot of times people don't even understand how to control their body. Maybe single leg is how I'm looking at it. I don't know how they look at it in yoga, but that's difficult. Control your body and movement in on a single leg stance or something like that. So it can aid slow movements. It's maintaining and holding poses, which is going to be what we call isometric exercise, which is movement with or exercise without movement, but it's hard. Like a wall sit. Like if you go and do a wall sit, like that would be like an activity that we could give to strengthen quads, and you stay there, that's hard to do
So
for
just
30
like
seconds.
so going into a body squat and then holding at the bottom.
Yep, and just holding it, it's going to burn your quads. But they're doing this in certain positions over and over and again through the cycle. So this is increasing heat in flexibility, heat, and it's also increasing blood flow. So I'm thinking from a scientific, there's a lot of blood flow increase, a lot of oxygenation to tissues because she's directing them in breathing. A lot of times in physical therapy we do that, but we're not focusing on it. But I feel like somebody's constantly directing them. So there's good oxygenation to tissue. There's really good blood flow to tissues. There's multiple positions, I'm assuming. I've done yoga once, and I'm going to certainly try it again. Is this correct? Like there's multiple postures
This
and
is
positions?
amazing that I'm the most experienced at yoga out of the three of us.
Oh, yeah. Well, out of us three, not. us
No,
three.
come on.
Well, I'm
Not
just
the
saying.
super yoga
All right,
person.
Dana, continue with your science.
So multiple positions. You're working on balance, left to right.
See,
You're
multiple
promoting
positions.
balance. You're promoting flexibility, right? I'm gonna let go of this microphone again. And so now I'm gonna turn it back over to you. Do you agree with all that stuff? Because scientifically, that's where I'm looking from.
Yes.
Is that correct?
That's exactly what the science would show, is, especially on a physical therapy standpoint. I think what helps even more for recovery and rehab is trusting your body again. Like being able to slow everything down, breathe through it, and then the mental part is noticing when those mental blocks come up. When do I stop trusting myself when I have this Achilles injury and I'm rehabbing from it? So we look at that. Let's look at it. Let's let it go and keep going. You're going to tell me if you can handle this or if it feels unsafe. And we're building that trust slowly and slowly. I mean, you do it in physical therapy as well.
Yeah. That's an
But
excellent
because
point,
we're kind of in this meditative mindfulness state during our session, I think it kind of burns into their subconscious more.
And that makes sense. Bam,
Yeah.
because everything for them is fast. Like everything for professional athletes and fast. So
Look at this
slow it
guy.
down.
There he is.
Is this
This
is
is it.
Arietta's Pilates? Oh my gosh, Spencer, you are a
Thank you.
gem.
I mean, his flexibility, his movements, what he said, his movements to be able to pitch and the efficiency and the functional efficiency. When you start talking about athletes, and we see it more with the Olympic runners, there's an efficiency of the body that everything's used in sequence. There's firing patterns, there's things going. When you have an injury, you have a shoulder injury. I think he started because he had a shoulder injury.
Okay.
But it's the same thing with yoga. It's an efficiency of the body. We can talk about blood flow, we can talk about breathing. But the thing is, the edge they get is the efficiency use of their body. When you have an injury, and I've said this multiple times, you have a natural shutting down of muscles to protect. And that's what's going on. See, even the sirens are coming now. But,
Coming after you.
It's a good point, I
but,
guess.
but basically,
Hot take.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, that's, you have to relate to the athlete, right? So I put out a few things. You're in the yoga camp, but they have to have a buy-in. Like, you won't buy in, but you'll buy into something else that will relate to that to get you to the end goal.
Correct.
So what you said earlier is that I come in and I watch and I evaluate. You're trying to naturally not push the issue, but you're understanding where their brain cells are coming from, right? What their needs are. And you're making them, you're proving to them that this is going to work for them, right? So then there's more buy-in. If I say, okay, I have a lacrosse team that I'm going to have you come out and see, and they're the varsity team between ages 15 and 18, you're going to have 3 that'll buy in. But if you go to each one of them and individually, you'll probably have 80% buy-in. So it's all how it's approached. So if she does a concierge visit with you, you'll be a yogi within a month.
Potentially.
So,
I'm still a skeptic for it.
To bring this back to the science of it, there's a lot of science. You brought in a generalization of science with blood flow, breathing, efficiency of the body. When you find people are competing, like you look at LeBron, when you say it has to slow down, when you talk to high-level professional athletes, and the best one that comes to mind is Igor Larionov, personal friend, how are you so good? Nick Lindstrom, how are you so good? The game was slow to them. They saw it all come about, and I had the fortunate abilities to be with Scotty Bowman on the side, in the stands, listening to him. The game is not fast to them because they see it developing. It's not what's in front of you. They're 2 to 3 steps ahead. So that's where you get it. And when you say the mental clarity, if they don't have mental clarity, and some of my other friends, I won't mention his name, but a very good friend of mine that played for the Red Wings, he was about what was in front of him all the time. He battled what was in front of him all the time. He didn't have that, the professor of hockey, Lindstrom, who is the master of defense. They don't have it. There's only a handful of these guys. The pitcher, he sees it differently. And I think what you're doing with yoga is the brain has so much more capacity, and you're slowing them down to say, stop worrying about your ankle. Your body has mechanisms to heal it, and we're going to take advantage of it. So when you say trust, the trust is a little bit like voodoo, but what you're saying is that you got to shut down all that brain focus to that injury, and that you trusted your therapist, you trusted the surgeon. I mean, ACLs are a big deal right now. Anterior cruciate ligaments, like our young new lion, Williamson. Jameson, yeah, I'll always goof it up. He has to begin to trust his body again. And some of the clips that we showed is all about those little small movements that build that trust. And you have to be ready for any angle. So yoga prepares you for a lot of that.
And that is, I just want to tap or
emphasize.
Emphasize. That's your word. Slowing down the game. You're really, and Kobe talked about this a lot, like getting into the zone, tapping into that like sweet spot where distractions are not there. You're focused, you're in the flow of things, and it's not about the adrenaline of like the sympathetic nervous system. It's how can I breathe through this, focus through this, and do my job efficiently. So meditating in any sense, and mindfulness, which yoga incorporates with movement, you're going to practice that every time. So that's why it's important, and that's why Kobe talked about it all the time, of meditating and getting into the zone, because the game does slow down. You can read plays better, you can kind of what is going to happen before it happens.
One more point. We have one more point.
One more point?
Yep. Go ahead.
Can I just really briefly, I'm on the physical therapies. I get people who get injured from yoga, and I'm not saying it's you. It's just because they have degenerative changes and they're going to places that they don't know any better, and I catch them after. Any comments
Yeah.
That's a whole show.
Yeah, it really is.
Just to touch on it, I guess.
Because they're operating from like an ego place, they're thinking of it instead of a practice. They're pushing themselves to limits that they shouldn't be. They're not listening to the body. They're doing the opposite of yoga. Yoga is being mindful, being aware, taking it slow, not how high can I get my leg, how can I stand on my head, that there are all reasons for that in time. I see it a lot as well, just in my colleagues in the yoga world, of having certain injuries. And I think when new people come to me. That's why I always suggest either find a beginner's class or find a one-on-one teacher that can work with you and you know the correct alignment and someone that will keep you safe versus pushing yourself past your limit.
It's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Yes, Alex. I know this is a topic that we could talk. This is a topic that we could talk about for hours. I do want to say, truly appreciate the time today coming on board to this smorgasbord of individuals asking you questions, but shining some light and exposure to the world of yoga and how professional athletes can use it in their everyday life, but also how everyone can also use it in their everyday life. So thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me. Yes.
Thank you.
And that was the Thought Leader Injury Report, technically brought to you by OMPT Specialists. And OMPT Specialists are dedicated to providing you with the best quality care by applying one-on-one customized treatments with the same highly skilled physical therapist for each visit, similar to what we've been talking about just now. Each therapist is certified in Orthopedic Manual Physical Therapy, or OMPT, an advanced form of physical therapy that focuses on treating the cause of pain, not just its symptoms. Exactly what we were just talking about. To schedule an evaluation, give them a call at 248-353 or 1234 or visit them online at omptspecialist.com.
At OMPT Specialists, we focus on you by providing one-on-one care. And that's when you see the real results.
When I consider the one-on-one approach to physical therapy, I was really happy with that idea. We had been to several other physical therapy clinics, and OMPT just really stood out.
From back pain to post-surgical recovery to chronic pain, when your doctor refers you to physical therapy, opt for OMPT Specialists.
Welcome to Michigan Sports and Spine Center, Michigan's top physical medicine, rehabilitation, and regenerative medicine specialists. We are a team dedicated to providing you with the very best in patient-centered care, including personalized, cutting-edge treatments for all musculoskeletal injuries. Visit one of our convenient Metro Detroit locations to get started with a comprehensive exam, pain management, biologics treatments, EMG testing, and more.
Gain more confidence in your body with LightRx. We offer non-invasive treatment options like laser lipo, laser hair removal, and body contouring that deliver dramatic results with no surgery or downtime. Our expert staff will help you find the services that best fit your body goals. Save 70% on our favorite treatment plans and get ready to look and feel like your best self. Visit lightrx.com/Woodward Sports to learn more about this limited time offer.
Give it up for the hero of the month on All Access Sports Medicine, brought to you by LightRx.
To All Access Sports Medicine. This is the Hero of the Month segment. We're finishing the month with the Executive Director and Founder of the Living and Learning and Enrichment Center, Rochelle Vartanian. Right? Yes. Awesome.
And her team.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Give us one little mic check real quick. I want to just make sure.
You hear me?
Yes, there we go. Perfect. So, welcome to the show. I know we've had conversations all month about the program and the foundation. For us, give us the insight why, and just tell us the story. That's in what your organization does, and kind of bring it to full circle for the listeners.
First of all, this is the lady who's okay. I will set her up a little bit better than that. This woman is what we call ourselves cutting edge of sports medicine. She is cutting edge for mostly autistic, but this woman is changing the country and the way it's being viewed. Her facility out in Northville is state of the art. It's a beautiful facility. So it's not just some random founder that said, "Oh, let's do this little thing on the corner." She's taking it to the nth degree. And
Thank you.
A lot of passion behind it.
Thank you. Well, how it started was I was a special ed teacher for 20 years in Farmington. And I was working with kids with severe behavior issues. And what happened was my own son, my youngest son, was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, which is a form of autism. And they didn't know what to do with these kids. And so they were putting them in my classroom. So my son's already diagnosed, and he's about 3. And the high school didn't know what to do, so they're putting him in my room. And what was going through my head was, oh my God, this is my son's future. And these kids are walking targets to be bullied anyway, and they're putting them in a classroom full of kids that had severe behavior issues. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh. And I didn't know what was going to happen other than the kids that when they got done with school, these parents are telling me 5 years later that they're living in their parents' basement playing video games. The other thing that was going on is any parent that has a child with special need will tell you the same thing. They're lying in bed thinking, when I die, what's going to happen to my baby? And so what I did is I went back to school and I got a second master's in autism. And when I got done, I started running these programs on Sundays. I ran social skill groups. And I just started thinking, I can just keep doing the same thing. And when he's 18, I'm going to be in the same situation as all these parents. So I just took a huge leap of faith and I quit my job. I was divorced at this time. And I had a beautiful home, a home that I will probably never live in again. And I sold it and I moved my family into a home that I was so ashamed to live in. But what I was able to do is I was able to open up a little storefront, and I had programs in it, and it grew. And the one program I started with was called a Friday Night Hangout, and I did it because these kids have nowhere to go. On Friday and Saturday night, they're at home by themselves, and they're very aware that their friends and neighbors are going out, and they're not. And so I just wanted a really cool, hip place that they could go to, and it grew, and it kind of took off. I mean, the first year it was slow, and then it kind of slowly, grassroots, started growing. And how I got it to grow was I just went to different schools and doctors' offices and told people what I was doing. And then Saturday night started getting bigger, and then I added like gamer programs and just different things that they were doing. And it grew, and then we outgrew that building and went to another building. And my whole mindset was, again, helping them live independently. So then I started looking at them thinking none of them were working. So I started doing job skills. And we moved into a different building, and I don't know, all of a sudden the world took us seriously, and we started getting people from Ypsilanti and Troy and everywhere, and we were in the same situation. 4 months later, we were thinking we're going to have to move again. And someone made a joke and said, well, the Don Massey Cadillac estate is for sale. I'm still not getting a paycheck at this point. And I just thought, I'm just going to make an appointment and walk that property. And as I was walking that property, I saw these apartments across the street, and I started thinking, this is the Holy Grail. I'm going to help people live in those apartments. This is walking distance from everything, and they won't be isolated. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I was just committed to making it happen. So I just went to every church, Rotary group, Kwanzaa club, anywhere I could, and I told my story, just like I am doing right this second. And someone heard about me and said, I want to meet you. And after about a year of getting to know him, and I'm still doing these presentations, I said, will you walk this property with me? And as I was walking the property, I was explaining everything I was going to do, and he said, this has to happen. I'm going to give you $500,000. I still had to raise another $800,000, and I did it. And we got the keys January 2020.
My goodness.
And then COVID happened in March.
Oh.
And I know, and we got through it, and here we are. And I have 4 people living across the street at those apartments.
Wow.
Wow.
So it's a miracle that this happened.
Yes. And
So
it is such a wonderful story to hear it from you.
Yeah.
I think that is a little bit what kind of is setting it in here. But you have some guests with you today. Who's with you?
yeah, so this is Lily, and this and this is the best part about this. I jumped in first. Yeah, I mean, I started this, but it is my team that this is why this happened. I mean, they are the rock of this company. So, and it could never have been what it is without these ladies. So I'm really glad they're here with us today.
Aww.
And what they do is every single morning we have about 70 young adults that come to the center. Every single morning, these young adults get bussed into our facility, and then they do job skills. We've got about 30 different partnerships with different businesses, and then it's 1 direct care worker and 3 of our members, and they go to these job sites and they do these jobs. And then they come back for lunch and go to a different job site, and then they go home. Before they were doing this, they were doing nothing. Day after day, month after month, year after year. And now this is what they're doing, and it's because of these girls. So, they're changing lives.
That's amazing.
You guys, you are, all of you, yes.
So
That's wonderful.
So I mean, I'm going to get emotional. No, I mean it's amazing. I've been the one that's been able to see it. It's the words that you've said still don't describe the difference you're making.
Yeah, we can tell the story, and you've been there. You're not going to get it until you're there. the property's Camelot. I mean, it is, and I don't know where this came from, but I was a special ed teacher, and I don't know why this happened, but as a special ed teacher, you were always given the worst room. It was like, yeah, you can have the room that's in the back of that building. Here's the books no one wants.
Right.
And so in my head, I was always like, I don't want to be in the back. I don't want the church building. I don't want the YMCA basement. I want the best place for my kid. And so that's kind of like been my mindset the whole time. I didn't know it was going to be the Don Massey Cadillac building. I mean, this was, way above what I was thinking.
You hit a home run there.
But I'm glad it happened. I mean, this is just amazing.
And so you talk about the public. Is the property open to the public? If so,
Yeah.
how do they get involved?
Yeah.
What's that look like?
Right. So we leave the gates open every day. We want the public in there. We want you parking your car, walking around. We want to share it. This was such a gift. We want to share it with everyone. And just these little miracles keep happening. Last year, this amazing landscape company called Imagine Landscape came up to us and said, listen, we want to do this amazing gift for you. We want to put a putt-putt golf course on your property. And it is not like some little rinky-dink putt-putt golf thing. They spent over $100,000 putting this amazing putt-putt golf course on our property, and so we want to share it with everyone. And it's open all the time. The putters are out there, and the golf clubs are out there, and the balls are out there. We want to share it with everyone. So this keeps happening. We have 5 alpacas out there. We have chickens. We have bunnies. We have a lavender farm. We want to share this with everyone.
I keep mentioning, I want to really focus in on, we have Planet Fitness here, and it's the no judgment and all that.
Yeah.
You're truly the no judgment. I really want to hear more about that, because there are a lot of families, there are a lot of parents that they feel they have a sentence of I have my child in the basement. I do that with my impaired athletes. When they have a dismembered or a spinal cord injury, they feel life is over.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I know your person that was here last week, we talked about it, that emptiness that you have filled that void for those families. And
Yeah.
so I'd like to give me some examples how that is buried for you. You guys mentioned there's 70 people that come, but on the property itself, it's not just about the healthy community coming. It's about people that are struggling with mental illness, whatever it may be.
Yeah, it did. It started, with autism, and it was personal, but now it's everyone. Everyone comes. I mean, and you're right. It's mental health. It's anyone is welcome to come, and we have programs for everyone now. And we did focus on adults, teens and adults, and now we even work with senior citizens that have special needs as well.
Yeah.
So yes, everyone.
But how have you made it where it's, give me some examples where, individual they have outbursts and there's no judgment.
Yeah.
And there's,
Do you want to
you guys are like, this is our everyday. What's the big deal for us? I mean, those are great examples.
Well, I'm just thinking about today when there was a young lady who has Tourette's, and she was sitting on the porch today, and she was swearing at everyone that walked by, and we were just, no worries, it's okay, we got this. She's safe. She's sitting there. We're just not going to pay attention until it stops. I mean, we love everyone, and it's like there's a place for everyone there. So, and I know her parents, are so happy about that, because where else was she going to go?
Correct.
So yeah, you're right. There's a place for everyone there.
And the workforce that you're doing, they gave us an example a couple weeks ago of individuals that they gave an example of someone who was doing janitorial work and now is an executive.
Yeah. So we have an IT
Plant
academy now, and which was another miracle. I mean, it's changing lives. I mean, these people, when you talk about a spectrum, we work with people that have master's degrees that have special needs, all the way to people that are nonverbal that need one-on-one assistance. So we're helping every single one of these people find a place.
Right. So, I mean, for parents out there that are like a little skeptical, we don't know how to approach it, we're running into our last minute here.
That's okay.
So, give us that.
So if you are listening and you need some help, the best way to get the help is to call us, and it's 248-308-3592, or to go to our website and just make an appointment, and we will walk you through it. That is the best way.
Go visit it.
I think that's the big thing.
Yeah.
Listeners,
Northville.
followers out there, go visit this location, the Living and Learning Enrichment Center. Rochelle, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you
so
for
much
having
for the
us.
month. It's just been a wonderful conversation, and we're we're excited to. I'm excited to go out there and see it,
Thank
and
you.
we keep saying we might do a
Show
radio
in the
show out there.
Isn't there a
Lavender.
gala
Right.
coming
Yeah,
up?
I
would
think-
love it.
That we do have. You do have the
Gala?
gala coming up on
We
June
do.
10th, correct?
June 10th. Yeah, we would love it if you came. Yeah.
Well, it's All Access Sports Medicine. This is the conversation that we're having on a weekly basis, but also a monthly basis as well. Thank you again
Thank
for coming
you.
on. And that was brought to you by LightRx. Gain confidence in your body with LightRx Face and Body. LightRx offers non-invasive treatment options like laser, lipo, hair removal, and body contouring that deliver dramatic results with no surgery or downtime. Right now, get 70% off any treatment plan and get ready to look and feel like your best self. Visit lightrx.com/Woodward Sports to learn more about that limited time offer. Thank you so much for attending today. Doc, appreciate the time. Dana, always. And then, of course, our thought leader today, this week, Alex and Rochelle, our hero of the month. Appreciate it. We'll see you next week.
Peace out.
All right.